very much for joining us on Teck Television. It's the 21st of November 2015 and it's news read to you by Trista Apio. But first, let's look at the headlines. Cancer a major threat in children. Kampala City with its filthy backyard. Opposition for 2016 election. And in our local sports, passing on skills to young generation. Good evening once again. Thanks. Welcome. I'm Trista with the news. Cancer is a disease that strikes with little warning, no reason. But when diagnosed as a child, the challenges yet to come are much more difficult to deal with. In our health report today, we look at one organization that has taken up the task of looking after these children who have been abandoned with cancer. Our reporter has more of that.
How are you, madam?
I'm okay. I'm happy for having met you guys because cancer is a very big problem in our I'm happy for having given this opportunity to talk about this problem of cancer because we've had this problem for a very long time and kids are being abandoned by their parents because they have that problem. It is not their own making because kids are being abandoned because the costs to treat cancer are too expensive, of which many parents in Uganda can't afford, and therefore they decide to abandon their children.
Thank you very much, Madam Sarah. It's a pleasure having you here.
Okay, even it's been a nice opportunity to talk to you, and we need to sensitize people that producing a kid and he or she acquires cancer is not the end of it all. The kid can survive and even have a brighter future.
Right. Now we take you back to our main studios.
Welcome back from that report. And on that, basing on that story, we are posing a question on our Facebook platform saying, what do you think should be done to reduce the rate of children affected with cancer? You can send in your answers through our SMS line, that is 0923, or our Facebook page, that is Teck News. And we shall be able to air out your views later on. Moving on in another health story. Family planning in Uganda has received different reception from families due to many myths people have about these methods. As some women have welcomed the usage of this method, others have rejected it with controversial reasons. Our reporter has more of that.
I really don't know much about it. But I know it's a method of what can I say, planning family. In terms of, I know I've never.
And the natural.
Do you know any side effects that comes out as a result of using such family plannings?
Yeah.
Like what?
Like a severe headache, overbleeding, and maybe failure to have a child in the future. Welcome.
Thank you very much of that report. And in our environment news today, Kampala City with its filthy backyard. Kampala City is one changing face, with roads have been given it a facelift with constant cleaning of with constant cleanings of roads. However, when one takes a walk behind the city walls, you would be left wondering whether it's only the city center that needs a facelift. In our environment news today, we take a walk in the outskirts of Kampala. In the outskirts of Kampala to see what is it compared to the city centers. Our reporter took us through that journey.
This Chivulu is a zone in Kampala. garbage collection is very hard here. So they beg the Kampala City Council Authority for more trucks to take the garbages away from here, to clean the city, as they do that in a town, to be done also in these corners, in the corridors. For BizTech Television, Hemi Brenda.
Thank you very much for that report. The recent rains in Kampala has left many residents with no properties and food crops. Most areas that have been affected are Waise, Kawempe, and some upper regions of the country. Our reporter moved around these areas to see the damages that has been caused by the recent deadly rains. Our reporter has more of that. Let's go in for a short commercial break. When we come back, we shall be airing out your views from our social media's platforms.
What is all this?
The future.
What about Spider-Man?
Not everyone has a happy ending.
Every life I've saved, every enemy I've faced, I always knew it was leading to something bigger.
We have plans for you, Peter Parker.
See the new trailer tomorrow on Facebook.
Thanks very much. Earlier on, we posed a question on how government can help children diagnosed with cancer. And these are the views that you sent on our SMS lines. Peter from Kawempe said, government should set up units in different districts to help test for cancer in children. Juliet Nambi from Gaba says it all starts with parents to endeavor take our children for cancer tests. Then finally, Kato says research should be put into more focus to how to deal with cancer in children. That is interesting there. I hope you'll send in more of your comments so that you can hear it out. But if you missed some of the recaps, you can you'll get more of this news on our website. That is www.biztechnews.com. And elsewhere in our political news, the 2016 presidential election and other opposition elections are just around the corner. Most opposition and the party in power all seem set for what is going to be the closest election according to many. In our political analysis today, our panel discuss how the party in power and the opposition are all set for this 2016 election.
A political commentator, policy analyst, and at the same time is an activist. We wanted him to take us, to give us a clear picture of what the electors should expect in the next coming elections. Good evening, Mr. Dubois.
Good evening, our moderator, and nice to be at BizTech TV about the political career and environment in Uganda.
This is a campaign season, and the electorates are very eager to receive the contestants that are aspiring for the presidential seat. What should we expect from the manifestos that have just been launched by different political aspirants?
Actually, let the voters not expect much the way how things have been moving. Like, we are not like US, where you see people actually, candidates coming up with their ideas and they stick on them. So what our voters should expect this time is to actually take power to themselves, because even our constitution says power belongs to the people. So like we have to decide, we as voters, but you should not rely much on the candidates, because nothing is going to change. Things will keep moving the way how they have been moving since back 1996 up to now. Like we have been promised a lot, but nothing has been changed.
Thank you, Mr. Wasami, for your time.
Thanks for visiting us.
Thank you. Next time, I think you'll allow me to come. We now take you back to our newsroom.
Panel discussing on that. Interesting stuff there from our panel. Hope we have learned something out of it. But moving on in our technological news, gone are the days when communication between people was slow. Letter writing was the order of the day, hence slowing feedback. Today, technology has helped in increasing communications between people. Let's take a look at that report.
Gone are the days when communication was through drumming, letter writing, and it would take long to receive your message. But today, as you can see, it's very good and very easy. Where you use your cell phone to move around, you can text someone, you can WhatsApp, use Twitter, Facebook. As you can see here, many people come to the internet to send messages and receive them quickly. As here, we can interview. We have one of our people trying to do messaging like on internet, which is the easiest. Hello. Can you tell us how the internet helps you here?
Internet, as you say, it is a worldwide web. It connects like continents or countries. Here, like sending messages, it's so easy. Like when the bandwidth is high, like some people using modems, the bandwidth is like the way, like the speed on how messages or information is sent. That's the bandwidth. It's so easy, like when you learn it, and like sending messages on WhatsApp, it can be like the speed of the internet. If it's slow, then sending of the messages, it will be totally low. Like when it's high, like like no congestion on like online, sending of the messages will be like fast.
We've heard something from him. Sending of the messages is too fast through internet, and when there's congestion, you get your message slow. But on the reality, it's faster to send messages than through internet than letter writing and WhatsApping. This is Teck TV. This is Sifa Gloria on technology.
Interesting stuff there. The communication is really easy these days. We can use our mobile phones and all that. But moving on in our business news, youth unemployment in Uganda remains remarkably high. The employment rate of the young people aged 15 to 25 is 83%. This rate is even higher. This rate is even higher for those who have formal degree and lived in the urban areas. Today, we bring you Robert, a graduate who has beaten all odds to do something for himself to better his life. Our reporter has more of that detail.
All youths in the country can fight unemployment. Not that we have to go for the jobs that we started for, the ones you graduated for, but going and starting off your own. For example, we found a guy, he's called Ronald. He started up with a business worth 200,000, whereby he never, much more he went to school, but he never sat and said I should wait for that job or wait for that course I went for, but he just woke up the dream and said I should start up something and be someone better in the future. As per now, he have benefits. He has benefited from the job he's doing, and he's somewhere. Reporting for BizTech Television, Hemi Brenda.
Go in for a short commercial break. Thank you very much from that short commercial break. But moving on again, in a lifestyle story. In a lifestyle story today, we look at one tribe from the southern part of Sudan who cut their foreheads to initiate them into manhood. Have a report on that. Interesting.
Yeah. So my name is James Dwapalok. I'm South Sudanese by nationality. So I'm a student in Meritorious Business College.
Okay.
So now this mark is become when you have become a mature person, the age of 15 years. So when you reach in 15 years,